Good morning, everyone. We're going to conclude our time in 1 Samuel 24, 1 through 22, and then we'll look at 1 Thessalonians 5:15. In fact, we'll look at 1 Thessalonians first. 1 Thessalonians 5 is Paul closing out a letter he wrote to a church. And this church had lots of internal conflict. People dealing with relational strife. People tempted to retaliate. And into that situation, Paul writes, make sure that nobody pays back wrong for wrong, but always strive to do what is good for each other and for everyone else. Paul basically says, hey, you guys got to make a choice. It's a choice you have to keep making. You see, resentment doesn't disappear because you did it once. No, you release it and it comes back, and you must release it again and again and again. Forgiveness isn't one moment, it's something you keep practicing. Also, forgiveness is not what most people think it is. It doesn't mean you dismiss the wrong, convincing yourself that it was nothing. No, real forgiveness means seeing the wrong for what it is and still choosing to let go. Forgiveness is facing the wrong square in the face and releasing it anyway. David walked out of the cave holding a corner of Saul's robe. He called out across the open ground and let Saul know, I had a chance to kill you, Saul, but I didn't, and here's the proof. He showed Saul exactly what happened and what he chose not to do in return. Then he said, may the Lord judge between us. My hand will not touch you. The Bible tells us that Saul wept at that point. He said, you are more righteous than I. You have treated me well, but I have treated you badly. Do you notice the order? David let go before Saul showed any remorse. He walked out holding that cloth before Saul even knew he was there. Forgiveness came first. The tears came after. By the end of the passage, David has sworn to protect Saul's family line. Now, if you think that was weakness, you are dead wrong. It's one of the most strongest moments in the Bible, in the whole story of David. The person holding a grudge isn't free. They stay tied to the person they hold on to. Every day you lug around what someone owes you, and you hand that person space in your head and let what they did keep molding you and shaping you and affecting you. The debt you hold ends up holding you. You see, some of you already know who this is. The name came to mind before I finished the other sentence. And you've decided forgiveness only happens after repentance. And since the remorse hasn't come, you're still holding it. But David didn't wait. He forgave first. And if you read the Gospels, Jesus did what David did, but at a cost David could never pay. You see, we stood before God fully exposed, deserving His wrath for our sin. And instead of pouring out His wrath over the sin, Jesus absorbed it. He took what we owe and carried it to the cross. And He said, forgive them. He said that to the people who put Him there. No repentance, no apology. The forgiveness came first. You can't force this through willpower. You must understand deeply what Jesus had done. We don't deserve His sacrifice. We don't deserve His forgiveness. In fact, He died on the cross before we even asked for it. We didn't even know we needed it. When you deeply understand the gravity of His love on that cross, you can start to forgive as He has. So name the person. Say the name to God and say what they did and say how they wronged you, and then tell Him you're putting it down. You don't have to feel it yet. You just have to start there. You were given what you needed, not what you earned. And that's the ground you and I stand on when you choose to do the same. And the Bible calls that imitating Christ. You and I becoming more and more like Jesus Christ. Isn't that the end goal according to Romans 8? My friends, God bless you. Have amazing worship, and I shall see you on Monday.